Good evening. The Who's today in Sydney were on at Canterbury. um, well, first of all, the track was uh, upgraded from a slow 7 to slow 6. Uh, Same thing. The rail was 6 metres out. There was no wind, and the uh, the fence was, I suppose, the place to be. You couldn't get trapped wide in the run. It didn't play like a greyhound track by any means, the track, but saving ground on the fence was most certainly the the place to was an advantage. If you got trapped wide in the run, was no good. By the same token, runners did come from back in the field. There was one good performance here today. Anyway, the first race, and a big discrepancy in what you could have got in the betting ring in the marketplace and what was on the screen in a lot of races. Um, in the first race, they said there was 109.2 or 109, and there was a good 7 less in the marketplace. Well, for a start, the favourite, Rastro, they said the best luck, I think, was 240. Well, there was 260, plenty of 250 and 260 given on the fence. And it got the biscuits. It beat the stablemate Murder of Crows, who had been gelded, and it still raced very greenly, and only went down by the long neck margin. It took all of the pumper's skill and weight reduction with those where he sits to get this favourite home. It went straight to the lead, Rastro, and sliding along behind it on the fence was the second horse. As I say, we all saw it. It raced greenly, trying to get off the winner's heels, and only failed by the long neck. It was 5 lengths back to the third horse, who came from second last. There were poor performances behind these two runners. Trophies, who'd been gelded, didn't have a price. It went from $3 out to $4.60 or $4.40. It didn't have a price, and it was also very hard to lay Murder of Crows, the second runner, from $4 out to $4.80. The one they wanted was the favourite, sensationally back, had a bad result in the first race. The second race, they said there was only 99.6 on the screen, and there was at least 6 less in the marketplace, about 93% only. These were the flux. Got the Goss was 350 out to 380, back into 330. Now, this favourite, well, the next runner starting favourite, Adage, it was $3 out to 350, back into $2.60, starting clear favourite. Lofty Ambition was 12 out to 15. The next runner, Pit Crew, we stuck it up a 10 to 9 chance, $2.10. It was a huge result for the captains. It got out to $3.80. Did not have a price. And the bottom one, Ready Set Sing, it was $9 out to 15, back into 12, only about 93%, but a result for the captains. And well, look, it's finished up winning by 2 1/4 lengths, this winner. Once it got to the front, travelled sweetly with the top weight, got the Goss on its outside, who was a bit disappointing. Running second, sliding through in the field of 5 from last position was Ready Set Sing. The winner trotted in as a sabre, but I can't understand the instructions were to the horse that started favourite, Adage, was to find cover. It did jump straight to the lead. It could have led on the fence, found the bunny and travelled sweetly, but when he early in the piece, when he was in front, the kid who rode the last winner, Jay Kizik, a 3 kilo boy, he followed instructions and he gave the lead up to, who do you think? I Own the Lead, Nippy Nash and Gay, and that was the end of the race. It was too good. But a big result for the captains, $2.10 out to 380, unlayable, the winner. The next race, they said there was 106.5 on the screen, 5 at least less in the marketplace, about 101% only, and this was the runner that I was saying, this was a performance. Chateau La Lafay, it it was extremely well backed. Started clear favourite at around about the $2.60 mark after $3.70 was given. We put it up a $3.50 favourite, and it got out to $3.70 or even 80, well $3.70 at least. But as I say, it was extremely well backed. It started $2.70, fairly hard to get. It jumped out. It had barrier. It came in one barrier, barrier 9, in a field of 10, and ridden by horseman Huey Bowman. It jumped with them. Bowman, I don't know whether he could have led. I haven't looked at that close enough, but he didn't dig it up, and he eased in behind the pace, sitting in about 6th position, but 3 wide with a trail on the back of Rock My Fuji, as it turned out. And this runner, when they came to the turn, after seeing the first 2 races where the fence played to an advantage, this was going to be, had to put in a bit of an effort when it got to the turn. But as I say, it pulled widest on the turn, and it rounded up. Leading on the fence was Prime Shadow, who had barrier 1, and the second horse in this race, Papillon Rouge, it was in 4th position, 1 out, 1 back. It got past the leader, but coming down the outside was this half or full sister to the other good horse of Wallace, who won the Oaks, and it won by 1.8 lengths at the finish. So it won't be the last race it wins. It'll go on its merry way. A nice little 2-year-old filly. That's about all I'd say there. As I say, it started clear favourite. Number 1 was very hard to lay. Rock My Fuji went from $5 out to $7.50, and most of the other runners in the race blew. The winner was the one they wanted. Race 4, they said there was 105.8 on the screen, only about the neat 100 in the marketplace, and Holy Delusions from barrier 1 got the chocolates here. It got the perfect run. It went straight to the front. The favourite, Gone Platinum, and the winner sat directly behind it from barrier 1. When they turned for home, it was able to get a split with Heaven Sent Me on the outside of the leader, giving the winner plenty of room. It went through and only beat the leader and favourite Gone Platinum by 0.8 of a length. And there were some fair runs in this race. The third horse, Commanding Wit, it sat 3 wide in the run all the way, loomed up on the turn, and didn't go really on with it. But the hard run, not that they went really hard in front, but being wide didn't help. It was only beaten 1.5, and coming from midfield inside Commanding Wit to run 4th, and not a bad run, was Intimate Moment. He lost his position a little bit early in the race. The winner got the breaks, and that's what won it the race. You wouldn't see it. The winner, as much as it started $5.50, but there was $6 given in the outside ring. And the favourite, Gone Platinum, we only put it up a 7-2 chance, and it only started 5-2. It was 7-2, $4.60 into $3.60. And there was a little bit of cash for other runners. Number 5 was $4.60 taken, and Commanding Wit, we put it up actually the favourite at $3.50, the top weight, but it didn't have a price, and it got out to as much as $6. And that was about the race there. A team of really fairly ordinary horses. In race 5, there was only a small discrepancy in what you could have got in the marketplace and what was on the screen, and they were positive figures. They said there was 111.8 on the screen, and we did get about 109% in this race. But the winner was extremely well backed. Peace Force. It started 4.60 on my board, unlayable at the finish. Well, no, it wasn't. I was laying it at $4.60, and I had a bad result, and I stood two runners in this race, and they were the favourite, Akamars, who got trapped 3 wide in the run, and that was the end of it. And also the winner, Peace Force, as I say, as much as $5 given, was into $4.20 at one stage, but got back out to start $4.60. It led, handing up the lead to it was the third horse, Sergeant of Arms. When they got into the back straight, after levelling out, Sergeant Arms had the lead from barrier 2, and I thought it's right. The rider could have easily held the fence, but he didn't, and he gave up the lead to Peace Force, trained by John O'Shea, ridden by clever Karen McAvoy, and that was enough to get this runner home by the barest of margins, coming from, when they got into the back straight, a clear last. The second last horse was a good 2 to 2.5 lengths behind the field, and another 2 lengths behind it was the second horse in this race, Fantastic Ballad, ridden by Rodney Quinn. He was always going to get back, and when they got onto the circle turning for home, he'd got onto the back of runners, got onto the back of the top weight Faramac, and then Hook widest in the straight, and only failed by 0.1 of a length, the nose margin. And running third was the horse who gave up the lead to the winner, Sergeant at Arms, had a great run, and it was finding the line all right at the finish. The second horse with a fairer track and a little bit of luck, it most certainly would have won. The others all had their chance. Running fourth was Sparkling to Win, who sat outside the lead. The second horse in this race should have got the cash, and Akamars, well, we can forget its run because it was posted 3 wide all the way. In race 6, now there's a big discrepancy here, what you could have got and what was on the screen. They said there was 109.1 on the screen, and in the marketplace there was only about 98, losing figures. Now these were the flux. Maximus Gladiator went from $5 out to $6, back into $5.50. Fullerton, I think the best luck was $4.60. Well, there was a mile of $5 at the finish on the fence, or at least 2 boards on the fence, $5. Prince Warrior didn't have a price. It went from $4.60 out to $7.50. Rockefeller Centre, similar, didn't have a price. It went from $4 out to $5.50. Black Jag, sensationally backed Black Jag. It's only just failed, and went hard up in front with Prince Warrior. It was as much as $5.50 given, $5 on the fence, $5.50 in the outside ring. It started clear favourite at $3.50. The next runner, Ivanhoe, was always around about the $10, $9.50 mark. And the bottom one, Farm Boy, $51 into 26, back out to $31. And as I say, Prince Warrior, there was a bit of use made of it to eventually find the lead by the time they got into the back straight in this 1900 metre race. It ran last, beaten 14.7 lengths. Black Jag made it do the bit of work early, Natural Willer, and finally surrendered. But the field was really spread out here, and sitting in third hole was the winner, getting a good suck up, ridden by Father Schofield. And when they turned for home, Black Jag had got past, well, before the turn, Black Jag had got past the weakening leader, Prince Warrior, but sucking up behind it was the winner. When they were getting down to the line, after getting about a long neck in front, the winner, Fullerton, the second horse, Black Jag, started to kick back again, but Father Schofield had a little bit up his sleeve, and he beat him by a neck. It was 2.5 lengths away to Rockefeller Centre, who sat fourth. They all plugged to the line. A team of trotters, race 7. Now here, they said there was only 100.8 on the screen, and I counted only about 94 in the marketplace. These were the flux. The winner, a huge result for the captains, done nothing wrong, only went from $7 out to $12. Westchester, at one stage, you could have filled your bag at $3.50 Westchester. It opened up $2.80. It got out to $3.50, back into $3.20 or $3.30, but started $3.80, and you couldn't give it away at the finish. Tyndall went from 16 out to 21. Druid from $9 to 26. Fancy Pants sensationally backed. How is it going to win? $5 out to $6, started $4.20. Crusader General, well backed, $9 into $6.50. No more for the Avery, please. The next runner, Access Code, well, it was $7 out to $9. Taken, very well backed. The pros came into it. $15 into $9. And Frankenbeans, well, it got to $15 at the death. You wouldn't see it. It was $8. 13 taken at one stage, but started $15. And the pumper was the reason this runner got home. Up in front, well, leading early was Fancy Pants, but Taken, who was trapped a little bit wide in the run, took off down the back straight and found the lead. And Crusader General was up on its outside. Getting trapped 3 wide in the run was Tyndall. And the pumper, who was sitting back one off the fence, when Tyndall went around him, he got into the 3 wide line on the back of Tyndall, travelling fairly sweetly. And he was able to get to the outside in the straight, easing off heels, and got there just right on the line to catch the horse that sat outside the leader, Crusader General, to give the captains a good result. The favourite, Westchester, it was always going to be from, well, sort of midfield, I suppose, but ridden by Clever Karen, he finished up second last on the fence, and he found the line very well. He got into an awkward position the way the race was run. Run the race again, you would get quite a few different results. We came to the last, and there's 9% discrepancy here, what you could have got. That's big. 9%. It just goes to show you what an advantage the corporates and the filthy, the TAB betting fixed odds, and the corporate even betting best luck and what they offer to clients have. There was 9% less in the marketplace. You could always get started $3.20. This favourite loaded, I think they returned at $2.80. You could get $3.20 on the rails when they jumped. A bit of difference. These were the flux. $2.50 out to $3.20, back into $3.10. Never ever went off. Started $3.20. Ward didn't have a price. $5 to $7.50. Code word would have been a huge result for the captains. $13, a 12 to 1 chance. It doubled its price in the marketplace, out to $26. Delario, they took 17, started $14 or $15 only. Tamanou Park, they bet 14, started 12. Gonna Happen, 30 out to 60. Sydney's Destiny didn't have a price, $7 out to 11. Zeus, $7 out to $10, back into 9. Forward, Forewarned, I should say, $9 out to $11, back into 10. And iKing, extremely well backed and a much better run than it looked. It was sensationally backed. It opened up $9, an 8 to 1 chance, got out to $11, 10 to 1 chance. It started only a $6 chance, 5 to 1 iKing, and ridden by the pumper. It jumped awkwardly, and down the back he was looking for cover, but he couldn't find it, and he made a move, and he was trapped very wide all the way around the circle, and still moved up after straightening to be not far behind the leaders. He finished up running about 6, only beaten 3 lengths, a better run than it looked. It led on the fence, going to happen, but then it handed up. No, it kept the fence going to happen, and it sat up on its outside, forewarned, and making a mid-race move was Ward, who was trapped wide in the run, and he had to go forward, proper Peter Roble, and he was 3 wide, and a bit of use was made of Ward coming to the turn, not the place to be, and the winner, by the same token, Loaded, who sat midfield, ridden by the 3-kilo boy Jay Kissett. On the turn, you wouldn't have taken 10 to 1 a place. It was going nowhere. It had moved up Iking. I think might have even got past it, and it was looking no good for the Grumble and Grunters, who had taken the $3.20 and the $3.10 about it. But like it did last start at Warwick Farm, where it should have just about won, once it was given one with a shillelagh, it picked the bit up, and it found the line fairly strongly, coming from last, off their heels, spending not a penny in the run, was the second horse, Code Word, who, as I said, would have been a big result for the captains, only far by the nose margin. And it had loomed up, but the winner just fought back a little bit too well. I suppose the third horse, Forewarned, who when Ward had taken off, it made the leaders go a little bit earlier than they would have liked, and when they turned for home, the third horse, Forewarned, had shot well clear with the lightweight 52.5, and did look the winner, I suppose, halfway up the straight, but it couldn't hold on, but by the same token was only beaten 0.9 of a length. I suppose you can forgive Ward's run and also Iking's run. How the favourite won, anyone who backed it, it looked like it was most probably you were a shot duck after you turned for home, but somehow it managed to get there by a nose. That was about the meeting. All we had there, well, we had eight captains, 8 bookies on the rails, and 2 in the outside ring, with the same 20, not even that, retired card players following what the pros were doing. Plus, we had a few Betfair crushers playing the shorteners on the fair, and that was about the meeting. It was a tough go. We've got Gosford on tomorrow. Is there another meeting on besides Gosford in New South Wales? Of course, we'll have a couple of meetings on Friday, Randwick on Saturday. Fancy having Hawkesbury in between Randwick on Saturday and Monday. What are they trying to do? Send the Grumble and Grunters broke by sticking races in their face all the time? They know, if you ask them the question, you say, what's the easiest way to send a punter broke? And the people who are running the game, they say, well, just to keep them betting all the time. I suppose if an individual to keep on betting all the time, especially if you're betting with a tab and taking unders with corporates and whatever, unless you're betting with counterfeit, I suppose you'll just have to eventually go broke. Well, that's what they're doing. Fancy putting all of these meetings out. It's got to come to an end. Some of it will come to an end, I suppose, when the lease runs out with the tab. There's only 91 years to go. We haven't got that long to wait. We'll see what happens when they're leased, whether race clubs want to renew their association with the cancer of racing, the TAB. Good evening.